All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is YouTube. You know who this is. This is yours truly, Pastor Dow. First of all, number one, I just got finished listening to the entire press conference that the NRA done. And first of all, let me stand up and let me clap my hands. Let me clap my hands. Let me clap my hands. And let me take my hats off to the NRA for doing a wonderful job at that press conference. Because all them sickos, psychopath news media there, undisciplined. I mean, let me show you some of the things I noticed. First of all, they had two disruptions in there where people turn around there and actually blame this on the NRA. The NRA ain't the one who pulled the trigger. A psychopath did. He went on his rampage. It's the laws of this country that is responsible for that type of murder and that killing spree. And then I noticed that every time the media is just jacked up, they something else. Now, if somebody disrupts the president from talking, or one of the press secretaries from talking to something, the news media, they either cut way down the audio feed and everything. The hypocrisy is just off the scale. It is utterly amazing is what it is. But then when these people come up, they magnify the audio of these rebels up there disrupting and disturbing. Actually disrupting and disturbing the whole entire press conference. It's just utterly amazing. And then they try to force questions. Even though they said, the NRA said, we're not going to be taking them right now. We got plenty of time for all that. Oh, I tell you. All right, points. If you've been listening to me anytime at all, you know I've been very heated about this particular discussion. I've been very vocal about it. I've already stated once, said 1,000 times, a lot of things that the NRA said, I've already said in my archives. I've already said it. But, you know, until we get some type of security around these schools, if you choose to send your children to these public schools, my advice is every single child, take them out. And all you mothers homeschool, fathers homeschool. Get your children out of these unsafe zones. Because a killer, especially a psychopath killer, he's always going to choose the path of least resistance. He's always going to go to those places to where he's not going to meet any type of armed resistance whatsoever at all. So therefore, he don't have to worry about that. He can go ahead and get his little sick psycho mind filled with all the mess and carnage he wants to do, and don't have to worry about any armed opposition, because the cops phone call 911 away. I told you, you're down 911, you're going to die. It's just all there is to it, because they're not there to protect you. They're there to write reports. That's what they're for. But, you know, he brought up some very good points. The banks have armed security. The banks. And you know that I don't know what they're protecting, because the money is fiat, is totally worthless. It's only backed up by anyway, don't get me started. The airports are protected. The power plants, the courthouses, the president, the Congress, and the sports arenas, they're all protected. But then all of a sudden, we change our philosophy when it comes to our children. That is a very sick mindset, a sick, distorted, deranged mindset. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? And I'm telling you, but you'll send your children to those type of schools. I tell you, you know, I think if you're not part of the NRA, I think you need to actually go over and consider doing at least a 1-year membership to support them, because they're going to need a lot of money. Because I tell you what, we need to make them bigger than Walmart. That's what we need to do in this country. We need to make them bigger than Walmart. We need to fund them, and we need to vote with our pocketbooks, and not by typing just opinions in here on YouTube and all these other social media networks. We don't need It's amazing, because see, we live in a society where the society in itself actually glorifies. It's actually entertaining to watch murder on a daily basis. All the video games. He named some of the video games. I'm not even familiar with these video games. Bulletstorm, Mortal Kombat, Splatterhouse, Grand Theft Auto. And look at this one, been on the market 10 years. Look at this. Kindergarten Killers. 10 years it's been online. 10 years. What kind of sick society is this? See, it's amazing. See, a gun in my hands is not a bad thing. You know why? You know why? Because I've got over, are you listening to me? 30 years of trigger time. Are you following me? 10 years of professional trigger time in the United States military, and I didn't waste no time to make sure that I did not lose any of that skill set. Once I got out, I made sure I stayed technically and technically proficient. That's right. You better believe it. You better believe it. I was an expert in there while I was in there, and I'm still one, even still till today. So A gun. A gun in my hand is not a bad thing. You know why? Because I'm trained and I'm an expert. And not only that, I used to train men in the military how to shoot, how to take care of their weapons. I am a professional weapons trainer. That's me, Pastor Dow. So a gun in my hand, hey, hey, and a gun in any veteran hand, best hands it could be in, because they're already trained professionals. I don't understand how a gun all of a sudden is bad if it's in the hand of a security guard at a school system. I don't get that kind of that stupid thing, because you can't even begin to even reason with these type of people. You can't even begin to think about it. But it's amazing. But I tell you what, if there was an armed guard, or if there was a veteran. Now, I'm going to give a suggestion here. My suggestion is this. And you ain't going to get it passed because they're trying to make the veterans out of psychopaths. You understand that? But it's just a suggestion. My suggestion is that if you're going to continue to keep sending these children to public school, you don't have to send a veteran, especially one that's been in the SEALs, the Special Forces, Army Ranger, U.S. Army Paratroopers, 82nd Airborne Division, Force Recon, people like that are in the elite units, Joint Raiders Training Center, Op 4, JRTC, Delta Force, all the people like that. You don't need to send them to no classes to get bored half to death to how to train, because they can train the instructors. But you know what? If you live in these towns, if you live in these cities, there's enough veterans around there to where we could actually volunteer. We could actually make a schedule throughout the short school year. I think the school year is 160, 170 days. We could volunteer one veteran to be armed in that school, one each day. We could pull a shift. And I'm sure there's enough veterans in every location to where we could actually cover that with no problem, and it wouldn't cost the state no money. It wouldn't cost nobody no money. We could carry our gun on us, and we could, and it wouldn't, but you know what? What I'm talking about, it makes too much sense. It makes too much sense. Now, they got to talk about budget restraints, and everything. I tell you, it's just sick and everything else. But I just gave you a solution. Now, the ultimate solution is if you love your children, get them out of public school, get them out of private school, get them out of these universities to where they can't be protected. Just get them out. Just get them out. Get them out. Get them out. And you train them at home yourself. And you have a Mossberg 500 tactical 12-gauge shotgun. Get you a 12-gauge with a 4-shot. 2 and 3/4 4-shot. Get that, and I guarantee you. Anyway, just trust me on that one. All right? But, hey, I'm telling you, it is amazing what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and let this thing go, but the link is down below if you want to watch the video in its entirety. But a 1-year membership at the NRA is $35. A 2-year membership is $60. A 3-year membership is $85. And a 4-year membership is $125. And a lifetime membership is $1,000. And they got a program that they want to push forward called School Shield Safety Program. Now, I'm amazed at the undisciplined, the brashness of these wicked news media reporters. Just wicked. It's just so wicked. But you know what? You know what? Again, NRA, let me clap my hands. We do have an actual organization that actually has some sense in this world. And don't worry about it. As long as we're fluoridated and vaccinated and stuff, you ain't going to never have people agreeing with all this. But it was amazing, though. The president can be protected, but forget about the children. Let them die. It's amazing. Your sports figures can be protected, but forget about the children. It's utterly amazing. Let them die. The bankers who are jacking and robbing us country blind and charging you absorbent amount of interest rates, protect them, but forget about the children. Man, I am just, what kind of understanding is that? What kind of understanding is that? Anyway, I think you get the picture. Link below. Y'all have a good weekend. Have a good weekend.